killing Bambi's mom and killing Mufasa. Oh, what the hell is you? What are you doing, Disney? Do you like traumatizing kids, Disney? What are you doing? Imagine yourself 10 years from now, okay? Thriving, struggling, or stuck in the exact same spot. Where do you think you're going to be in the next 10 years? Every choice that you make today is building that version of you 10 years from now. Every decision that you make. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about that, guys. Here's the painful real world, examples that I can give you. Job dreams versus versus reality. Let's get into it. Dream. One of your dreams was, and what does this entail really? Like for example, you work a 9 to 5, you get promoted, you climb the ladder. That was your dream. It might have been your dream. Your circle. That's what they knew. That's what they thought was the right thing to do, right? The reality of the situation today, though, is because let's go ahead and ground your imagination of yourself 10 years from now into what the reality of the situations and things might be, right? Work a 9 to 5, get a good job, get a good education, do all this kind of stuff. And this is really a kind of a philosophical life, why are we all doing this? What's the purpose of all this, right? The reality is raises barely outpace inflation. Okay, guys, promotions are slow and they're very political. Now, I come from a construction type background. It's one of my backgrounds. We're very blunt and candid and all this kind of stuff. When you get into like roles that are more office related, there is so much politics. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not. That's not me. I don't play the office politics games. I'm just blunt and straight to the point. I want to just get the work done, move forward, no difficulties, make things easier for everyone, make things easy for me so I can make things easy for you. Don't make things difficult. Let's just move forward, make some progress, and leave the BS over there. Leave the BS to the other people. Unfortunately, though, politics is part of the process here. They don't tell you these are things they don't tell you about in as you go through high school and college and stuff. They just teach you to get the work done. But there's all kinds of other stuff in the office politics. I can't believe Nancy said this. Oh, did you hear that he's going to leave work early today? Oh, I'm going to get him in trouble. All this, the human variables. They don't tell you about that stuff. Politics is there, right? Decades pass before financial freedom. It's not just go to work graduate a 9 to 5 and then get promoted and then climb the ladder and you're good to go, right? Even in the tech space right now, I mean, there is no. We'll get into it. There's no stability. Look at the layoffs. Tens of thousands of people with years of experience getting laid off of all these big tech companies with experience, and they know what they're doing. They're not even fresh out of college, and they're struggling, right? So, another example I can give you: dream. The dream is save from your paycheck and retire rich. Are you guys going to be able to save from your paychecks and retire rich? How long is that going to take? If you can you make $1 million off of your job, and is $1 million going to make you rich? Well, it depends on the time frame in which you make the $1 million, right? If you make $1 million after working for 40 years, do you consider yourself rich then? It took you 40 years to make it. Do you consider that being rich? It depends on what your standards are, but I mean, here we aspire for a lot more than that and more speed, than that. If you made the $1 million in a month, would that or in a day, then would you consider yourself rich? Yeah, time plays a big part. So the dream is you want to save from your paycheck and retire rich. That's what you aspire to. If that's what you aspire to, the reality related to that is the average savings rate in America is under 5%. A lifetime of saving from a 9 to 5 rarely creates wealth. It's just survival. That's not wealth. You're surviving, if you ask me. Okay? Another dream reality comparison, the dream is you're going to be a loyal employee, you're going to have a safe career, you have a guaranteed future. The reality is, like I just mentioned earlier, layoffs happen overnight. Automation, large language models, AI, and outsourcing H-1B visas and everything else, they're replacing people faster than loyalty can save them. Stability is an illusion, guys. That's why in the other video I talked about, touched on having multiple streams of income. You can't rely on one stream of income. You got to create multiple for yourself. You got to have it coming in from multiple directions, not just one. You got to create redundancies in your system, in your system of how you operate. Here's an even harsher timeline, a harsher kind of a perspective, and this is something that I talked about, guys, when I was it's kind of a funny story, dude. I started thinking about this stuff when I was younger, when I saw the movie The Lion King. When Mufasa died, that jacked me up. When I saw Mufasa get thrown into the thing and Scar killed Mufasa, when Mufasa died, and they put the blame on Simba, man, I went into it might have been a depression. I went into a depression when Mufasa died. Man, Disney really knows how to jack up those younger kids, huh? With those freaking movies. Killing Bambi's mom and killing Mufasa. What the hell what are you doing, Disney? Do you like traumatizing kids, Disney? What are you doing? Okay. So that jacked me up. I started going into some kind of midlife crisis as a little kid. I'm like, what is the purpose of life? What am I doing here? I started, you go to school for 15 years and then I got to wake up on Monday morning. I got to go to school and I got to do this for 15, 20 years. And then I got to graduate, and then I got to struggle a few years to just get my foot in the door to get a job. And then I got to spend decades climbing this freaking corporate ladder and at a snail's pace, having crumbs thrown at me. And then I got to barely keep up with inflation. These are my thoughts after I saw Mufasa die. Okay. Okay. And then you retire. Then I got to retire. And by the time I retire, I'm an old man, and I'm just hoping that I scrounged just enough during that entire time that I worked for 40 years just to survive, only to spend the last 10 years of my life dying slowly, wondering if that was it and if that was worth it. This thing that I just told you was a thought process that went into my head as I was thinking about what's the purpose of life when I saw The Lion King and Mufasa died. Okay? This is what happened to me when I was a kid. I went into this little mini depression. And what helped me go through that is spending time with family. Every family friends, that we'd have get-togethers. I told my family, this is what I'm thinking about. I don't like this. When Mufasa died, this is what I started thinking about. What's the purpose? What am I doing? What are we doing here? And so we had family get-togethers every weekend. So that because I had something to look forward to. Thank you for my family for doing that. That actually helped me a lot. Because I had something to look forward to, right? And then I also started thinking about how I'm not alone here. I mean, everyone, all of us are dealing with this. You guys are dealing with this. These are kind of those unspoken things that we never really talk about or tell other people, right? And so it's just something to think about. It's just something to share with you guys, and some authenticity there. That's the harsh timeline, though. That is what it is. That's what people have in their head. Like, what's the purpose of this? There has to be more to this, right? Al-Ghazali, an Islamic scholar, and you guys really should take a look at him and look him up and look at the stuff that he said. One of the things that he said, even Imam Al-Ghazali in his book, The Alchemy of Happiness, warned about things like the greatest tragedy is sleepwalking through life, confusing mere survival with true living. What is happiness? During those times, 1,000+ years ago, during the Islamic Golden Age and around that time, young men and women would take time. They'd take a couple of years to fine-tune themselves, to sharpen themselves, to ground themselves on what matters in life and what doesn't matter. People don't do it nowadays. People are just too distracted, as you're seeing in the other video here. They don't really take the time to do that, which is important to do. But bridge. So the other topic that I want to talk to you guys about here that I've written down is you have to bridge to the future self. Okay, your 9 to 5 can pay the bills, but it will never pay you enough to buy back your time. By the time your future self makes it, the years are gone. You don't get them back. I'll say this again, and I've written it here. Your 9 to 5 can pay the bills, but it will never pay you enough to buy back your time. By the time your future self makes it, the years are gone. You don't get them back. Start making these important decisions now. Well, Mo, how do I do that? What's a practical thing I can do? The money that you have, don't put it in a savings account. Put it in a brokerage account. Invest it, okay? And start thinking about what things that you can invest in that will allow your money to snowball, so that your money works for you. These are one of the major wealth building tools that most people don't know about. They don't utilize. That makes a huge difference over a long period of time. It's a video for another time. You guys might want to join the Patreon so we can take a deep dive into this, because if you do this correctly, it can make you you can make multiple millions, potentially be a decamillionaire or even more by the time you retire. And no, this is not crypto, this and that. There's actually a proper calculated way of doing these things. Go ahead and check out the Patreon in the description, and we can start taking a deeper dive in that and exclusive content. Okay. You don't want to just do 9 to 5 and that's it, guys. You guys got to start making decisions now so that you guys can set yourself up for the future. You got to start being proactive now so that you can start setting things up for the future self. Your future self will either thank you 10 years from now, or you'll be like, why didn't I do this, and what the hell was I thinking, and all this kind of stuff, right? So let me just kind of bring it all together. I know it's all over the place, but the blueprint for alignment here, which with the stuff that I've kind of talked about, like in terms of imagining yourself 10 years from now. Are you thriving, struggling, or stuck in the exact same spot? And I sprinkled on some little anecdotal stuff and things in my own thoughts in there. Blueprint for alignment: start a side hustle while you're employed. Okay, these are practical things that you can do. Start a side hustle while you're employed. Build income streams not tied to hours worked. Invest in skills that compound, such as communication, sales, digital leverage. Take tiny daily steps, guys. If you're trying to eat an elephant, you don't just try to devour the whole thing all at once. You take little bite-sized chunks. Take tiny daily steps towards these things. Learn one new skill. Post one piece of content. Connect with one new person. Take tiny little baby steps. Do something, guys. Take some kind of action every day to help you move forward in that direction. Mo said something about investing. How the hell do I actually do that? You guys have LLM models. You guys can ask, hey, some guy on the internet named Mo, and this is his YouTube channel. He talked about how go ahead and put it into the Chat GPT or the Claude or whatever other LLM you're using. This is Mo's YouTube channel. This guy is talking about how I can use investing to make myself a millionaire, 10, 20 years from now, if I invest a certain amount of money. How the heck do I do that? He's talking about that's possible. And hey, if you want even more customized feedback, and I can help you out, join the Patreon, when we can connect, and I can kind of start breaking some of this stuff down for you guys, so you guys can start making moves today, guys. Make moves today. Don't wait. Don't wait, because with a lot of this stuff, the sooner you start, the faster you can start to see results. Is your future self going to thank you, or is it going to? Are you going to sit there and struggle and be stuck in the same spot 10 years from now? You guys gotta think of your future self. You know, the time's gonna go by anyways. You got to make sure you set yourself up for the future. You know, time box projects with real return on investment, not just endless busy work. Take actions that will actually get you some real results. Don't just do stuff just for the sake of doing stuff and nothing happens. Okay, so that's part of my call to action for you guys. Okay, your future self is waiting. They'll either thank you for the sacrifices that you make now, or regret that you played it safe, worked for 40 years, and ran out of time. Which one are you building, guys? One of the golden nuggets here is this that I'm also going to throw at you is, and it's something to think about, maybe a topic for another video. Stop being a consumer and start becoming a producer in this world. Because producers own the future, consumers just rent it. Okay? Just something to think about. And go ahead and like the video. Leave a comment in the video. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Good or bad, go ahead and just hit me with it. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.